Good morning from a very rainy and stormy, lightning-filled Florida. This is a really big day. This is my last national park in the contiguous United States. I've been to all of them after this one, Everglades, including US Virgin Islands, which I went to in 2018. So technically the Virgin Islands was my first national park, like, in my adulthood. And then the others I've done in the last 3.5 years. So 3.5 years? No, 2.5 years. 2.5 years to go to all 51, I think it is, national parks in the contiguous United States. That's pretty cool. I'm like, oh, my work is done. What am I going to do now? So I am driving to the Everglades sign. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. And so it'll be light in a little bit. Oh, lightning. Yeah, and then I have an airboat tour scheduled, like a 45-minute airboat, but it's about an hour north of here, and it's still the Everglades Park, but it's in the Everglades Safari Park. So it's just kind of like an outside entity, but it's in the Everglades, and then you take the airboat. So that, you know, I thought that'd be fun. I've never been on an airboat before. During Hurricane Harvey, somebody was going down my street in one. I was like, where the hell did you get an airboat from, dude? Because the entire Houston completely flooded. And there were people on kayaks and air mattresses and stuff. It was kind of funny, but not funny. So then the other thing I have, which I want to do right at 9 o'clock, is the 2-hour tram tour with in the national park. So that's with the Shark Valley trams, and that's what the National Park Service, you know, has that on their website. So I'm going to do that. That's about $30, and then I have $39 is for the airboats. So at least I can do the tram. I don't think the tram will stop running, even if it's raining. But it's going to stop raining soon. It's not raining now. It's just that off in the distance there's a freaking lightning storm. So yes, I'm just going to get the picture of my sign, or my picture of the sign. It is way too early. I just had a cup of chai and now I'm drinking a frappuccino as well. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. And then after that I head up into Naples, and then up through, I think I stay in Naples tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to do like, you know, Botanical Garden and go through Montalcea, which looks like a little cute little town. I don't know how much devastation there is still from Idalia, from the hurricane that came through. That pretty much hit Fort Myers, Tampa, that area. They call it the Big Bend. It's like the bit right before the Panhandle, if you're going north up the west coast of Florida. And then I'm just kind of making my way through the southern states back to Albuquerque. So yeah, it's just, you know, every day I'm just going to mountain bike. It's kind of, you know, just to do something. I've already done everything you can do in the southern states. Definitely got to figure out to come back to Georgia. North Carolina, there's so many hikes. I really, really want to go back and spend some time in North Carolina. Probably not until the spring, because I think the winter might be a little too treacherous. But yeah, and then I go to Albuquerque and then fly home for the weekend, come back, and then it's just mountain biking. I do need to get my bike fixed. So in the meantime, Everglades, you are my last national park. And then next year or the year after, I will go to Alaska and do the 8 parks there. At some point I will fly to Hawaii and do the 2 parks that are there, and then somehow get to American Samoa, and then I would have done all the national parks. It's kind of cool. So all 89 Texas state parks, and then now I have to go through the 400 or so national monuments. So I got to get that list downloaded and start checking that stuff off. But I'll do a video, a little montage of all of my national park signs, and, you know, just for prosperity. But in the meantime, I'm driving this really, really long straight road, and the freaking hell is the sign, people. So anyway, all right, I will see you in a little bit when I'm hopefully at the tram. I'll try to get there at 8 o'clock so I can at least, I called yesterday and she's like, oh no, it's the low season. I'm like, it's a Sunday. It's like, it's a Sunday and it's cooler and it's raining. So who knows what Floridians do when it rains. In Texas, we don't even leave the house. So, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna try to get there early so I can get my ticket. I prefer to have things booked. I don't mind last minute stuff, but you know, the online bookings are finished. Like you can't book the day before. So unfortunately, I didn't know that tram was, a thing. So I was like, oh, I'll just do my friend told me to do an airboat tour. I was like, yeah, I'll do an airboat tour. But then I realized the tram also takes you to the tower, which is the similar tower to Klingman's Dome, same architect. So, okay, this road is really long. It's like 4 miles on this one road. All right, I just stopped for a second to use the restroom in the van, but this is where I'll come back to this afternoon. These are the airboats. So there's a bunch of them. So yeah, they just run like whenever. So I already have a ticket. So yeah, this will be fun. It's on the way back. So I've got about 8 miles to go to the other part of the park where I'll do the tram tour. It starts at 9:30, so I want to get there early to get my ticket. So, okay, that's easy. So yeah, just the same road. Go down there, come back, and then yeah, just do the airboat tour, and then I'm done, and I'm off to Naples. All right, so I'm in. This gate locks at 6 p.m. 8:30. Okay, it's not open yet, so I don't know what to do. I guess I just wait. I don't know. I have no idea. I gotta figure out where the yeah, I should be able to get in. No drones. Do not approach alligators. All right, there's people parked on the street, but I don't know. I'm not gonna walk that far. I don't know where Shark Valley, where the tram is. I think it's inside the park. Yeah, it's inside the park, so I'm just gonna wait until the gate is open. All right, they definitely do lock the gate. This is why I like to have my tickets bought for stuff. So I guess we're just gonna wait. She opened the gate, now she's locking the gate again. She said you can't get in until 8:30, which is in exactly 6 minutes. She said you can enter the park at any time, you just got to park on the road. I don't know why you would walk in here, it's so far. Actually, I'm not, it's just like a little bit past that gate up there. All right, I'm just sitting and waiting right now. Again, no cell reception. Yeah, this will be fun. So it's a 2-hour tour. I swear, like going to 51 national parks, I'm so glad that I don't have to pay $30 or $35 each time to get in, because that would be like $1,500. So I've saved quite a lot of money, and I've been to several national parks more than once actually. Oh, there's another ranger. I think she's the official gate opener, although she only opened one side, so I don't think we can go in yet. There are now 3 cars. I am the first at my last park. So yeah, it's, oh shit, it's $55 for the annual pass just for the park, and then $80 annually for interagency, $20 for seniors. The prices are over there. And then military is free. Like each year though, I think you have to get the card. I don't know how that works, but I have the permanently disabled interagency pass, which is free. Seniors are, interagency senior is also $80 for lifetime pass. The other ones are annual. Single entry is $30, and per person walking or on bicycle is $15. So that lady has locked the gate. So anyway, back to me. So yeah, it's like I got bitten by 3 mosquitoes just taking a picture of the Everglades sign. So anyway, okay, I'm just gonna wait then. Going to wait. So yeah, I'm like, oh, very underwhelming. It's like racing to get to the finish line, and then it's just like the finish line is closed. Got to wait another couple of minutes. Yeah, so the tram leaves, I think only four of them run in the summer, and I think there's more that run in the winter. So right now I think the first one is at 9:30, and it's great because the second place I'm going is just like 5 miles down the road, and then after that I'm done. So that's it, that's my whole day. It's good though. I mean, there's other stuff, like mostly just airboat tours. You do not want to go swimming here because of the alligators. So no fishing either. Yeah, you just kind of chill out. So it's good. It's weird because you're like literally 30 miles from Miami, like not far from Miami, where it's all different. And then Biscayne is just a beautiful, by the way, I was going to go back to Biscayne today, but the weather is really bad. Like it's been raining all night, raining all morning, and I would not have had time to do both. I was going to do the morning 3-hour snorkeling, but it's $130. I was like, I cannot do that. So I can do something else at Biscayne. I'll come back and maybe go to the state park area and then like snorkel over. So it's all the same reef basically. And yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, I did a trail, you know, I bought a magnet. So I did do something there, and I did talk to the instructors or the tour guide boat guys, and they said that they told me about Life Heart, which is for like veterans to go like scuba diving and snorkeling and stuff. So I'm gonna look into that. So at least I got a connection. So that's good. But I'll come back to this area. Definitely we'll go back to Key West again. I really enjoyed just being out in the water, and there were no mosquitoes. The weather was perfect. It wasn't even that humid, and it was just really beautiful. And it just kind of had this colonial vibe to it that was different than you see in like the East Coast over in like, well, I'm on the East Coast, but like over in, you know, New England area. It's just like, it doesn't feel as harsh. It feels very relaxed. Like, hey, we're gonna go to the East Coast too. We're gonna go down to the cool, chill area. The people were great. Like I said in the video, like the previous videos, it like zero diversity. That's my only issue. When I go places and it's just like, it's all just like whitewashed. It's just like, no, I need like, well, there's Cuban food. I didn't really eat anything except like a mahi-mahi sandwich and whatever I have in the van. But, you know, I'm huge on diversity, and I love being in places that are, you know, exotic and different, and you're around all culture and all that. But down there, it's just, they're all transplants. Unless you're a conch. Conch means that you were born and raised there. So, all right, Ranger number 3. I think this is the guy that's going to open the gate. So that's good. Okay. Good, how are you?
Doing well, thank you for asking. So what I'll have you do is once I open the gate, I'll just have you wait for me by the stop sign where my booth is.
Okay.
And I'll be right with you, okay?
Okay, do I get like anything special, like a lobster platter or something?
No, you don't get a lifetime plaque or anything for me the first one.
This is my last national park in the contiguous United States, my 51st park.
Nice, you do a freeway from west to east?
Just a big loop.
Nice. Well, glad we can be a part of your journey.
Yeah, it took 2.5 years, but I did it. So I'm like, oh, what do I do now? You know. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Perfect. I'll see you in just a moment.
Okay. It's funny. I'm like, do I get anything? Jesus. So, it's funny. I don't know if like Everglades is someone's last park. Like they say, like North Dakota should be like the last place you go, but I didn't. I was kind of in the middle. Delaware was my final state in the contiguous United States, and then DC, and then Everglades is my final park. So I'm just gonna go wait at the sign, I guess. This is funny. I thought he was like gonna yell at me for filming. They don't care. It's like the Rangers for president. The Rangers are awesome. That gate's gonna swing back. Okay. All right. So going up, waiting at the sign. So just here.
Yeah, you just wait for me at the booth.
Oh, at the booth, okay.
You see the stop sign.
All right. You want to race?
What?
You want to race? I got a heavy right foot.
I gotta give you a head start.
Okay, yeah, I drive a brick. That's too funny. He's got to walk all the way back to the booth. I thought he meant like wait at the sign back there, but no. I was like, I'll race ya. You'll still probably beat me because I'm literally driving a brick. It's like, actually, the Nissan NV is very aerodynamic, so that's why we get really good gas mileage. Here we are, yay! Oh my God, I did it. Fucking national parks. It's cool. All right, now I have to wait. So no dogs, no rollerblades, no skateboards, no drones, no fishing, and no Lime scooters. You can see him walking. He's way back there. And I'm way up here. So to let you know, this is the interagency pass, my lifetime disabled access pass. So do not lose this card. I also get 50% off for camping. So I've stayed in like Glacier for like $8. I mean, it's crazy. I think Bandelier was like $6. That was really cool. That's one of my favorite places. I haven't been back to Bandelier in quite a while. Excuse me. Yeah, there's a lot of places I'd like to go back to that either were closed during the pandemic when I started this project back in 2021, or were low capacity, or the, you know, I want to go back and do a different version of the experience, which is always good. So all the rangers are coming in, people on e-bikes. Yeah, I was like, you know, they're rangers when they're on the other side of the road. They're like, we're rangers, we own this place. See, they're driving. There's another car coming by. Yeah, it's nice to get a good stroll in the morning, obliterated by mosquitoes. This is really cool though. This reminds me a lot of, I mean, there's like Stiltsville is down here as well. It's like a little stilt town. I think that's maybe where the tour goes. I'm not sure, for the airboat. But yeah, it's funny. It's like, this reminds me a lot of when I was in West Africa and we went on the little catamarans out to little Stilts village. It's like the same reedy grass. But unfortunately, humans have completely destroyed everything with the propellers. So, you know, we now it's all conservation. We have to be careful, but we weren't before when these national parks, you know, became established. There's Ranger. I think he's locked out of the booth. He is the man with the keys. When I worked security in college, I was the girl with the keys. So everyone was my friend. Even if they hated me, they were still my friend because I could let them into the building at 2 in the morning. All right. Hi. So I'd also like to do the tram tour. They told me I can buy a ticket here.
Yes,
but...
you can. You would just go to the visitor center, which is straight ahead.
Okay.
And then that's you will purchase your ticket through our concessionaire.
Yeah, I tried online, but the online was closed yesterday afternoon. I guess they don't allow you after a certain time. So when I called, they said, "Oh, it's low season." I was like, you know,
trust me, you won't have any issues getting tickets.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But you know you're from Texas with a Bucky strap.
Yep, you know what? That's my little co-pirate. So
Hey.
yeah, I know it's a long way to drive. So thank you.
Safe travels.
All right. Although they have Bucky's all over now. They have them in Georgia. I think they're making one in Tennessee. All right, let's go. It's already very hot and I need to cover myself in mosquito repellent. All right, so there's a few people. I think they're gonna ride bikes. So that's the tram over there. So I need to go get a ticket. There's Prudence. I'm gonna move her. Need her more in the sun. I think she's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna move her. She needs to be more in the middle. I'll move her in a minute. I could park in I'm gonna move her on the other side. All right, I'm gonna go to the visitor center. Don't know if it's open yet. And I think I'll probably sit in the back. Might be the best seat. I don't want to sit in the very front one. I'll sit in the back. Okay, here we go. Well, that's fantastic. For military, it is only, if you see my ticket here, it is only $20 for veterans and military instead of $29. It's even cheaper than seniors, which is a rarity. Usually, we're a little bit more expensive. But anyway, plenty of places to bike. You can ride your bike over the natural speed bumps. It's like Larry the Gator in Brazos Bend State Park in Texas near Sugar Land. He's like the laziest alligator. So yeah, I spoke to a lady I spoke to on the phone. She's like, were you the one that called? I said, well, yeah, you know, it's like when I do research for people that are domestic violence survivors or people with PTSD, I always ask 100 million questions because I want to make sure that they don't have any barriers to participate in society and do things like this. Because a lot of times, you know, it can trigger anxiety if like they can't get through to someone or there's no face-to-face or they can't pay in person or they can't access the website or the website isn't ADA accessible, you know. So all these things, I just want to make sure that like I check off all the boxes and make sure that this is, you know, accessibility for all. So this is great. So 9:20. So I've got a little bit of time and get changed. And he said there's like no mosquitoes. The other ranger was like, no mosquitoes out here. Where I was earlier this morning, it's salt water. And down here, it's fresh water. So I don't know. They said something about salt, but okay. It's getting very, very hot. So let me get my hat on and get changed and put my scarf on. And this is fun. So yeah, so I've got my Everglades magnet and my ticket. There's a lot of cyclists all dressed the same. I don't do road cycling like that. I'm not competitive. Just downhill stuff. Like it's kind of like skiers versus snowboarders. The skiers in the cycling world are the road cyclists in their little Tour de France outfits, Tour de Faux outfits. And then you have the snowboarders, which are the downhill mountain bikers and BMX riders doing 720s off freaking, you know, cliff faces. That would be me. You can also rent bikes too. Okay, let me go use the restroom. Oh, shit, I need my ticket. That would be good.
It's not great for wildlife, but we have the early morning tram ride, so more likely that we see some alligators in the morning, since they are nocturnal. Also, we'll talk a little bit about the history, about the environment, the different communities, the different habitats, and anything else you'd like me to discuss. Just let me know, we can make it interactive. We are taking 2 trams, it's a double. You can sit anywhere you want, front or back, you can hear equally as well. All seats are good. Whatever we're seeing in the front, we'll pull up and give the back time to photograph, see what we're seeing. The only place we recommend you don't sit is the first tram, the very last row. It's against the engine and it gets hot. And it is hot enough right now. So anyone have a group larger than 5? Okay, so this is all together?
13 of the 2.
How many?
13.
Okay, so, hi. So you could get her own seat because, you know, you might get tired of it. But we have the seats 5 across.
Okay.
So if you want to sit together, you could take the whole back tram if you want. It's like, we only have 20 so far. Okay, so.
All right, so we only have about 20 people. We've got the group in the back, we've got the couple, we've got the solo with all my people that didn't show up today. No. I'm like, you want to see alligators? They're like, no. Actually, just solo traveler. Then we have the, I should move up. All right, we're getting started. There's the tour guide fixing the mic. I'm all strapped in. There's cyclists. All right. And oh, by the way, when they put wheelchairs in, they take out the front seats. So they're going to show me how to do that when we come back. So that'll be really cool to get a video of that. So yeah, I think they take out the first 2 seats, and then you can fit 12 in this car, and then you've got the other car in the back. So that's fantastic. Yeah, you can fit like 4 wheelchairs up here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, my name is Barbara. I will be your tour guide interpreter for the next 2-hour tour. Welcome to Everglades National Park. You are in the Shark Valley River Slough section of the park. I will explain that a little further down the road. This park has 3... Excuse us. 20 is the number. 3 major entrances, and this one is the northernmost entrance. This is very early in the morning. When we get back, it'll only be 11:30, so you will have plenty of time, if you have time in your day, to reach the other entrances, and I will tell you how to get there and what is to be seen down there on the way back. But before we begin, I have to introduce also the most important part of this journey, now for more reasons than one. And that is our driver. That is Ricky, if we can give him a hand. Apparently he has to drive with one now because he has to hold the cord into place. Dodge bikers and hikers, and hopefully some alligators that we'll be seeing down the road. He's going to do his best to spot wildlife, but I'm going to tell you the bad word of the day. And that word is ectothermic. Has anyone been here before to Everglades National Park? Okay, so welcome. This is an amazing place, but it is not the optimal time to see alligators. Alligators depend on the atmosphere and the weather conditions to regulate their body temperature. They like it somewhere between 75 and 85 degrees. If it gets hotter than that, they're mostly in the water. And alligators can hold their breath up to 5 hours. Second largest wading bird in the world. That is the great blue heron. It is a sight and strike predator. Hopefully we'll get a closer look at that bird. This is our 22nd national park in the United States. Even though it's It's the 22nd national park in the United States. It is the third largest in the lower 48. They are sight and strike predators, which means they use their eyes to hunt. They will stand very still in the water. They are very patient fishermen. Sometimes you see their head going a little right and a little left. They are looking for a fish. This is the only park, so I know we have national park enthusiasts aboard this tram. Number one national park enthusiasts in the front row. I like to say that I only have 14 left, but how many do you have left?
0 in the contiguous U.S. I've got American Samoa, the 8 in Alaska, and 2 in Hawaii.
So all of the ones in the continental U.S.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Huge. So this is pretty impressive at 1.5 million acres. But at one time, from Orlando, almost to the middle of our state, to this area was all Everglades. Everglades National Park now preserves 1/3 of what was historically Everglades in the state of Florida. It was huge. Thank goodness it's preserved now. As I said, we went through a lot of different challenges. Oh, look, a game. I'm not going to talk. Notice the round snout. It's a way to be able to identify an alligator from a crocodile. So this is really interesting. There is only one Everglades in the whole world. There is only one place on the planet with this biodiversity. It is very complex. I will explain it. We have 9 named ecosystems that work together throughout the park as one. Today in this area we're going to see 5 of those. For example, this is the alligator's southernmost beach, is South Florida. You can find the American alligator anywhere from South Florida to North Carolina and to the coast of Texas. And from what I'm hearing today is because of hurricanes, they've come in a little closer than the coast, which is interesting. Alligators, I used to call them dinosaurs, basically modern day alligator fossil evidence goes back more than 80 million years. It's the only place on Earth that crocodiles and alligators cohabitate. So this is one reason I want to send you down to the south end of the park, is because that is where you see the crocodiles. Oh, there's a baby. I saw it dive in there. The baby gators are very camouflaged. Keep your eyes open for movement. They have tiny little yellow stripes on their back that look like grass.
So we have to yell out when we see an alligator. I was like, I think I see one. No, that's just a flower. So the water is completely clear, which is awesome.
The water is really clear.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you a little history about this water because they used to think it was a swamp or a lagoon. Did you ever hear the term drain the swamp? That was from here. This was supposed to be the next Miami. They wanted to drain all this water and build here. At the beginning of the last ice age. At the end of the ice age, about 80,000 years ago, glaciers had formed, water levels had dropped, and this was nothing but exposed limestone. This is the altitude we're dealing with here. Where we left the visitor center, it's a whopping 7 feet above sea level. It's not flat here. We're going downhill, but very slowly. When we get to the tower, it's 5 feet above sea level. When you get to the ocean, 60 miles from here, it will very gradually, all this water end up in the ocean. So, what is this water now? It's not seawater. panthers, we have raccoons, we have coyotes, we have fox, we have skunk, we have armadillos. When we get closer to the tower, where the altitude level is going down, it will start getting deeper.
What is
This
it?
is paraphyton,
Oh.
and I'll tell you all about it. You see, it's fresh water. It's just spongy, just spongy, just throw it back. Proteins, bacteria, algae, small aquatic species, little tiny fish. If you had a microscope, you would be amazed. Much better to you than watch lovers hold the mic and watch out for bikers. This is the majority of tree islands we have there. This is known as a bridgehead. They're very dense islands. They stay wet half the year, dry half the year, depending on how much rainfall we do. We'll tell you what time to be back at the tram. We're almost at the tower.
All right, we got 20 minutes. Do not disturb wildlife. It's 4 months of rent. So, okay, so we're gonna walk over to the tower, which is the second one. So the first one was built in Clingman's Dome in Smoky Mountains, and that's the one I climbed on that episode. And then this one is the second one that was built in a national park. This is really cool. Active alligator nest. Oh, that's funny. All right, so this is the only place where alligators and crocodiles live together, so they get along. And there's me, proof of life that I haven't been eaten by an alligator or mauled by a crocodile. I'm wearing my Florida Keys shirt. It's the only shirt I bought. It's actually a rash guard, so when I go on the boat tour after this, this is great. It's nice that it's like a little overcast, so it's not, you know, too intense with the heat. But there we go, nice 60s style Tomorrowland version of a tower. Okay, now we're walking up. There's the driver. We're looking for crocodiles.
Australian, right?
English.
It is a straight shot if you had turned around and looked back from the tower. It was put in, here comes Texas, by a company out of Texas. Win-win situation. In 1966, there was a project from the government throughout the national park system. It was called Mission 66, and any national parks that had any pre-existing man-made features, they would be funded money to make it more accessible for future visitors. So since we had this first road, they came in 1966 and completed the second road. That's why the one on the other side, the national park, tried to make it look more like the natural landscape. This side, they didn't care. We almost put alligators into extinction in this area due to poachers that would use them for fashion. Alligator skin for purses, for wallets, for boots, for hats. That was put an end to in the late 70s, early 80s. Illegal to hunt an alligator. There is an alligator farm down by the south part of the park. They are still farmed for their skins and their meat, unfortunately. But Everglades National Park, or actually the whole state of Florida, has now back about 1.3 million alligators.
during the 1900s to further try to dry this place up. That did not work, thank goodness. Number one interesting fact about this park, this is the only national park that I know of that needs and likes fire.
That was really funny. So the tour guide lady and the driver wanted to go look at my van, and a bunch of people were looking at the van. So I'm going to go in and have them show me how to take the seats out, and then, yeah, so cool. Here we go.
Okay, this is my colleague. This is Ricky.
Okay.
So Ricky, what we're showing her, they're going to show it on the video for the veterans that are in wheelchairs or have disabilities. So we're going to show her on the video how we get ready for it. So.
Yeah, I have friends that ride adaptive bicycles, mountain biking and stuff as well. So they have to figure out on the ski lifts like how to just like bungee cord it to a regular seat because it doesn't go into the into the thing. So they'll figure it out.
So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and. So. Wait, is this one fastened? Wait, is this one permanent though? Yeah. Yeah, this one. No, this one's the permanent one. This one doesn't go. This was number 9. Gotta go to the yellow one. Sorry. We get a lot of people that just don't understand, and we go out of our way to do this.
Yeah.
All right, so this one isn't the one. So what happens is these two, actually, these rows come out completely, depending if it's 1 or 2. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just take out for if we're having one wheelchair. And it's really not that hard for.
You've got to put your back into it, you know.
No, actually, it's already ready. Right?
Oh wow. Oh.
So basically, that would come out along with the other. So we'll just leave half.
So caregivers can still sit with the wheelchair.
Yeah, because usually it's here or back here.
Okay.
So we'll leave that, Rick. So this is the part that people don't see.
Oh wow.
They're with 30.
The obligatory pool noodle. We've all got it.
Well, it stops it from rattling.
Yeah.
So, and they come up, and then we have ratchets.
Oh wow.
We're
Okay.
gonna fasten them into the crevices. The only thing we ask the wheelchair people or who's with them is what part of the wheelchair is accessible to the straps.
Yeah.
Not all wheelchairs are allowed that. So, and we do ask if it is a case that they do need to use the ramp or stay in the chair, please let us know by reservation ahead of time would be great, or when they buy their tickets well enough ahead of time, because we do have to allocate for the amount of tickets.
Yeah, I sat in that front seat and it was a great seat. So it was
Yeah.
definitely got to
Yeah.
hear, see and all that. So
So yeah.
I appreciate it. That's great. That's really good to know.
Like I said, it's really deceiving when you look at the other trams.
Yeah.
They're all accessible. They're all accessible, so.
That's amazing. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was so fantastic. I literally had no expectations for Everglades, and I am just overly impressed with the staff were amazing. And I spoke to one of the tour guides. Like, I think her boyfriend does skydiving. She does skydiving. She's obsessed with it. I have never done that, so I was like, I don't know if I'll ever do skydiving. But we chatted about, you know, just ways to, you know, kind of just offset the cost of travel. Whether it's like acquiring gear from companies or being able to be kind of like a brand ambassador, even if you're not like a major influencer. Having the mid-level, mid-consumer brand ambassadors are actually better for brands because, for example, like as a tour guide, you're in an area with an audience that, you know, companies may not be able to just access, right? They can't just put up a billboard or like, you know, a marquee or something in the little tram and start advertising their products. Like, that's not really a thing. Like, that would be appropriate. But if you're a brand ambassador and you mention like, hey, you can ride a bike here. By the way, I'm an ambassador for blah, 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 bicycle company. I don't know, things like that. I'll do a whole video on how to, you know, sustainably travel for 23 years, be able to do it. So yeah, because I get gear a lot that, you know, is just given to me by companies. Even though I don't have a million people on YouTube. I would like to have a million people on YouTube, but I don't. And even when I don't, I still am able to do, you know, everything that I do. And I'm driving right now to the airboats, which I think is this way. I don't know. Anyway, that was fantastic. All the rangers came out to look at the van, and then the 2 rangers that showed me to take the seat out, how to do the seat conversion to an ADA accessible tram. Actually, she came up to me, the ranger came up to me this morning, because I'd spoken to her on the phone yesterday about tickets. She goes, oh, it's the slow season, don't worry, you'll have a seat, just buy it when you get here. And the ranger, when I got there, she's like, oh, I want to show you how we do our seats when you're done with the tour. So I chatted with her, and then she showed me the seats, and then with the other girl that was like wanted to travel, and she's planning her trip to Southeast Asia. So it was really nice. So yeah, I talked to them for about an hour, and now I'm heading to the other place down here to do the airboat tour. It's only like 30-40 minutes. Then there's another like 60 miles from here is the other end of the park. So I think I'm going to continue on to Naples today, because I do have to be in Orlando on Tuesday. So I'm going to continue on, excuse me, and then I'm going to come back, and when I come back to Key West again in the future, I'll go explore the other side of the park. Would be nicer when it's a little bit cooler as well, but that's where you can do like the cave. There's also cave tours. You can do a cave diving and stuff like that. So there's lots to do in Florida. It's like I'm blown away. I've never driven the whole state like this. I've never been down to Key West. It was hard to leave yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I'm spending probably a week and a half down here, and it's just amazing. So really, really glad that I got to see all of this and be on the ground to like talk to people and not just fly into an airport, stay at a hotel, do a thing, come back. You know, it's like I'm actually boots on the ground, which is why van life is amazing. But anyway, so this is going to be a really long video. So now I'm going to go do the airboat. I don't know if I'll put it in this video or the next video, but we'll go do the airboat tour, and then I'm going to head on to, I need to get a couple more groceries and then head on to Naples, which is about maybe another hour or 2 from here, maybe 2 hours. It's not that far, but it's just I'm going to actually drive through the Everglades. But yeah, this is the only place where you have crocodiles and alligators, and who knew, you know?